I found a bunch of these games in Chicago, tape only for like 10 bucks a piece, and I passed on them, and honestly I'm kind of glad I did, because this is way better find.
So we're currently at a game store that it's a lot of red tape to actually shoot in, so we never got any footage. But we resorted to go into this game store because we were out at flea markets and garage sales all day long and found Zippo.
We've had no luck, but we actually just came out of this store and I found some pretty cool games in here.
So I got some games for the Atari 2600 that are only used with the supercharger, which is an attachment for the 2600.
So the games I found are actually supercharger games for the 2600. Now what's unique about these is, one, they're actually pretty rare, but two, they're not cartridge games, they're cassette-based games.
They're a box and they're in pristine condition. These things look amazing, like they've never been touched. And I'm just sitting here just drooling as I'm looking at them in the case, and Stupid Jay found them first.
StarPass Supercharger, imagine a long cartridge with a handle on the top, and you plug that into your Atari. Well, there's a cord that goes basically in the headphone jack of any standard cassette player, so you don't need a special cassette player. And that's where the tape goes in. The tape, I guess, is actually the game, if that makes sense. Something being relayed from the tape into the supercharger is actually putting the image into the Atari, which puts it on the screen. And this is actually kind of like an upscaler, if you will, because it was graphically better. There were higher res graphics that were used, and the Atari could not by itself play these higher res graphics. It didn't have that capability.
Last year, this Atari. Now the kid wants a computer. Better idea. The supercharger from StarPath. Don't cost much. Plug it in the Atari and play supercharger computer games that cost under 15 bucks each. And the supercharger comes with this phaser patrol game. Rocket stuff. And the kid can fight those commie mutants from space. 'Cause they're out there.
As Jay's goes just looking over these things, I'm seeing communist mutants from space. That just sounds right up my alley. I love like sci-fi, old sci-fi from the 50s and stuff, and this is just straight out of that.
To give you an idea of the gameplay, imagine Galaxian. You got a ship on the bottom, you basically can move left and right, and you shoot the communist invaders, Martian invaders. But what's great about this game is the story. I just want to read this because it's so ridiculously awesome. Aliens from the communist planet of Ruski, Russia, right, are invading peaceful democratic planets and turning their inhabitants into communist mutants. The communist mutant armies are controlled by the mother creature, a strange alien who has gone mad due to irradiated vodka. Oh my god. So basically Russia has some neo-nuclear vodka that turns people into mother creatures and mutants. Makes sense, sounds legit. I would actually like to see this game remade to now, like nowadays. Like it could be just completely ridiculous and over the top. Like I would pay for that HD remake.
I got caught slipping on a communist mutant from Mars.
You know, I gotta say, I think this is pretty textbook catching Billy slipping right here. Saw the games before him, he was right there too.
Savages. Oh no, the sticker's leaving a little gunky residue. The price sticker. I don't think I like that too much.
Escape from the Mind Master is kind of a unique game. It's actually a maze game that consists of hallways and rooms. Sometimes rooms are empty, sometimes there's stuff in there, but the point is you gotta find keys called puzzle pegs. And what was kind of unique about this is you can only carry one at a time. So if you found a puzzle peg, you had to go put it in its corresponding socket and then go back into the maze and find the rest of the keys. All this had to be done while avoiding an alien stalker that was obviously there to kill you in the maze.
Rocket stuff.
This sounds like a game that, let's see, if in real life Billy was in this game, he would probably crap his pants. Billy's face would be like,
rocket stuff.
These games actually sound extremely unique from what you normally see on the 2600. Because of the upscaling in the graphics, basically the supercharger allowed the 2600 to have more memory, is really what it was. It was like a memory pack add-on, which meant that you could play games that were better graphically and probably more in-depth, like Dragonstomper. That sounds like one of the earliest RPGs out there. Dragonstomper is an RPG, and basically, well, you're a dragon slayer. You go on a journey collecting various power-ups, gaining strength. You're able to actually hire a crew to help you. And the point of the game is to go into a dragon's lair and slay the dragon. The first part of the game is called the wilderness, and basically you're kind of free roaming. Every now and again, random battles will pop up, and it's actually a turn-based fighting system.
Rocket stuff.
Once you finally make your way to town, that's where you can get, magic items, go to hospital to help rejuvenate energy, and like I said earlier, hire people to work with you.
Wasn't necessarily cheap, but paid way less than what they're actually worth, so what are you gonna do? Happy about it.
I actually got these games for about an average of maybe $20 a piece. I know that's kind of high for an Atari game, but the fact is these are pretty rare games. They're not easy to come across, and honestly, boxed like this, they're worth more than that.
I'm kind of irritated because I absolutely adore the 2600, and these things they're boxed. They're boxed and they're in pristine condition.
Looks like someone basically unwrapped it, looked inside, and closed the box back up and put it away in a closet for 40 years.
So did I get caught slipping? I may have gotten caught slipping, I'll admit it. He just happened to walk to the case before I did, but whatever. It sucks. It sucks that he found it first. As angry as I am though, I have to find something. I have to justify me being in this store. And I see that they have a Pitfall 2 also in the box.
Pitfall 2. $25 is usually a lot more than I would spend on an Atari game. However, that's usually around the going price for it loose. So to find Pitfall 2 in the box in this good a condition, look at that. It reminds me of Goonies so much.
Pitfall 2 was the follow-up to the wildly successful original Pitfall on the 2600. This game was also made by David Crane. Back in the day when like one person would program a game in itself, he kind of made his expanded universe here with the Pitfall series. But Pitfall 2 took everything that Pitfall 1 did and made it even bigger. Even go up and down. You could dive deep inside the caves. And so he just took the original Pitfall idea and just expanded on it.
This is kind of the collector in me wanting to get this just because of the box being in this good a condition and on a game that you usually don't see very often. You see Pitfall 1 a lot, but not Pitfall 2. And Keystone Capers, because it was one of those buy 2, get 1 free deals, and we all had it together, and this one ended up being free. But yeah, look at that. Pitfall Harry doing his thing.
I have Pitfall 2 loose, but not in the box. And the box for this is huge, and it looks, you open it up and there's the art in it looks great. It's like something that reminds me of Goonies in a way.
Condition? Fucking minty. Technology back then actually is kind of mind-blowing. The fact that something like this was available and could happen and could upscale graphics to have a better gaming experience. That's technology I can't even comprehend. Like, it's a cassette. But basically, I assume the audio comes in from the cassette player through the cable into the supercharger, and that does something to relay. Like, where's Rue? I need Rue for all the science on this. But that does something to relay better graphics onto your TV from the 2600, apparently. Kind of mind-blowing. Kind of makes me go, that's a really good game.
I said it's cool.
And sucking on some ass.
Now the kid wants a computer.
These are some of the original lights that we started with right here. What's crazy is now, like, dude, do a pan. We got all these lights set up, like pro-grade style lights, whatever, yet we still have to go back to one of the old and busted. If it works, it works, right? That's the way filming Game Chasers episodes go.